Hi, this is Johnny. I'm a global artist ambassador for FENIX360, and I'm joined today by the multidisciplinary artist Joe Lewis. Hey, Joe, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Good to see you. Hey, listen, Joe, I would like to actually share some of the content that you have up on your YouTube channel with our audience. So, is it cool now if we tune in to your rendition of Overjoyed?
Of course, please share it.
I love it. All right, man. Let's everyone tune in now to Joe Lewis and Overjoyed.
Over time, I've been building my castle of love, of love, of love, of love. And just for two, though you never knew you were my reason. I've come much too far for you now to say that I've got to throw my castle away. Over tree, I have picked out a perfect come true. Though you never knew it was you I've been dreaming. The Sandman has come from too far away for you to say come back some other day. Although you don't believe that they do, dreams do come true. Or did my dreams when I looked at you and I looked at you, and maybe to you would believe you too might be overjoyed over love, over me.
Joe, sweet man. It was great to hear that. And thanks for letting us share it with everyone. Listen, I was
Of
wondering
course,
if you
I
could do me
appreciate
a
it.
favor. Can you tell me, man, where are you from? And I would love to hear some of the highlights of your journey in being a multidisciplinary artist.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Kalamazoo, Michigan, very small town. I grew up playing football. I got to play football for Western Michigan for 2 years underneath Coach PJ Fleck. He's now at Minnesota.
Uh-huh.
And through playing football, I've of course been a lifelong musician, but football is always my main focus. And when I got to college, I didn't have band class anymore. I was always on the drum line and used to at least playing drums once a day. And at the time, that was kind of a little fix for me. I didn't realize how important music really was to me and my mental state. And I got to college. I wasn't, of course, in band class anymore, and I just felt really weird. And then about a year into college, that's my next summer, going into my sophomore year, I had a friend give me some software. He knew that I was a drummer, and he said, "Hey, use this software. I play the piano. Let's do some things."
Wow.
And we kind of just hung out. I would play the drums over his piano pieces, and then that led to me making beats every day. And then I eventually switched all my majors. I was originally an English major and a early childhood education major,
Oh,
planning to become an elementary school principal someday.
uh-huh.
And I just dropped out of school. Before I dropped out of school, I ended up changing my major to the music program at Western. It wasn't really for me, wasn't moving fast enough at the time. YouTube University was just kicking off. So I
Yeah.
was getting a lot more knowledge off of YouTube than I was actually going to class. But my parents are educators. So I knew that if I told them I dropped out of school, it would be a huge issue.
Right.
So I found Full Sail University. They're down in Florida. I took my classes online. So for about a year, I was in Kalamazoo taking my online classes. Then I made the jump and moved down to Atlanta, where I actually really began my career. So Atlanta was my first introduction to the music industry, working inside of studios, understanding how to work with clients, networking, and really just my first time living in a major city that had more than 500,000 people.
Right.
And I found myself growing tremendously. My first year there, of course, I worked a job. And then going into my second year, I decided to quit everything. I was working at a music store, and I was meeting all these people working at the store who, during the day, they come in and they buy gear and they're talking to me. And then at night they're working. And I wanted that life. I didn't want to be the guy that, you come to buy your cables. I wanted to be the guy buying the cables.
Right.
And I quit my jobs and just did not look back. Began to just do a lot of work over the internet because I was still struggling to build my network in Atlanta. Atlanta is a city that's very family oriented. So if you're not from Atlanta, or you're not family, or you don't know somebody who's considered family, it's kind of hard to get in that inner circle. So I found myself doing a lot of internet work and sending out a lot of blast emails. And I found an artist named Dave Mack, who was actually the first person to ever pay me for my services. And I just took that and ran with it. And working with Dave, we ended up getting a #1 Spotify album together. And then just really, aside from learning my creative skill, learning how to become an entrepreneur, understanding the business of the music industry and how money movement actually works, how to get myself paid. And, because you got to feed yourself to keep your lights on, especially when you just quit your jobs. And I quit my jobs with no savings. So I was, taking a huge risk in doing so. But if I'm being honest, I just kept my faith in God and knowing that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and that eventually it'll pave itself out. So I stayed in Atlanta for about 3 years total. My last 2 years, I ran a studio out of my apartment. That was pretty successful because I kept it open 24/7. I would have other people bring me their clients, and I was getting paid to just sit. I would have an engineer in the room, and hey Joe, can I use your room for 10 hours? Of course, you're gonna pay me, and I can go do something else. I love it,
Yeah.
And through that, and building my network, and actually becoming more of a consultant is actually how I was able to build up my network. There was a guy, he's offsets engineer. His name is Jay Rich. One day, Jay Rich was double booked, and he needed another engineer to take a session. And the session actually ended up being with the artist named Bando Pop. And me and Bando hit it off right away. And I wasn't really sure what was so special about Bando, but I knew that, I didn't want to leave his side and that I always wanted to work with him. And when I fast forward to now, he has one of the biggest songs out in America. He just released a song with Little Baby, and it's charting really, really well without any promotion. What people should be expecting is a lot of Brazilian work, and a lot of hopes to cross market Brazilian music with American music. One of my biggest goals is to bring the culture and the appreciation that Brazil has for music to America, because I think we're lacking music appreciation right now. It's a popularity contest.
Yeah.
But also the thing that's lacking in Brazil is pop music. They so badly, of course, like any other country, want to make music like Americans, but sometimes they don't necessarily have the resources. So when I'm in the studios down here, they're like, "Hey Joe, do the hi-hat thing, like do the," and it's like, oh, no one ever showed you guys how to do this little trick that we do in hip hop. So I'm learning that if I can cross over these elements and get bigger songs with an American artist and Brazilian artist and make it normal, I can see that I can bring together two major countries, and I don't think it's a coincidence that, and this is kind of bad, but America and Brazil are the #1 and #2 for COVID cases, because that's the amount of population. Those are two really, really big countries, and we're two really big free countries. We have our own ideas of freedom. Brazil's like, hey, we're gonna party anyways. Like, we're gonna hang out anyways. In America, we're like, bro, we're gonna go to work anyways. We're gonna go to the event anyways. So I'm seeing that there's a lot of similarities in the culture, and I want other people to see that, and to be able to appreciate different cultures. So coming down the pipeline, it should be a lot of Brazilian work, a lot more international work, along with this TV show, and also breaking myself as an artist. I spent the past 7 years producing other artists, learning how to be a producer, being an engineer, becoming an entrepreneur, learning how to get deals for other people. And honestly, it was kind of my cheat code to learn. That way I didn't fail on my own self. You know, if you fail as an artist, sometimes that's it. But if I get to learn as a producer from the inside, and then take what I learned and implement it to myself as an artist, it's a lot easier for me to be successful. So coming up in 2022, I plan on being a lot more selfish as a creator, making my own music, pushing my own music, doing the same things that I would do for artists for myself, which I think is very important. I've been learning that you won't be successful if you aren't taking care of yourself, you know,
That
if
is
you're
for
not giving
sure,
yourself.
man. That's exactly, that is it, Joe. And I got to tell you what, you know, I love the fact that you're, you know, that you're being an ambassador, if you will, for Brazil, and to be showcasing Brazilian culture and the people and the sounds and all the senses that are stimulated by that, you know, market and beautiful divine people. So that's going to be really looking, you know, I'm looking forward to your television programming. I'm interested in Brazil hop and how you integrate these genres of music.
Me
Bro,
too.
I want everyone to be tuning in to Joe Louis and following his progress, as I will as well. I'm very interested in what you've captured as far as your TV show concept, in terms of showcasing artists from around the world, blended into their cultural experience and what it's like from their, you know, who they hang out with, the behind the scene artists rap in places around the world. I'm into that as well. So we'll have some opportunity to collaborate on that. But nevertheless, I really appreciate visiting with you today, Joe. And I want everyone to get to Joe Louis's social media channels, find them below our interview today. And we're going to look forward to you coming up on FENIX360, bud. So thank you, man. I really appreciate sharing your voice and your music and your insights and your passion and your faith today. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, man. You be well, and peace out there in Brazil. We're looking forward to you coming on FENIX360. Take care, brother.
Do not cry, I cannot stay, but we'll laugh soon, one of these days. And though apart, you are not alone, because in your heart I'll have a home. Many summers have gone by, and man, we really need to hang out. Ain't seen you since 2009, but it feels just like yesterday. We used to kick it all the time. It's crazy how this life can change, but through it your love stayed the same, even when you've caused me pain. Oh, brother, friend of mine, a friend like you is hard to find. I never thought you'd be the one to be my guardian angel, and tell me that I need to laugh, and tell me that I need to stay strong. We'll joke again one day, I know that it won't be long. Do not cry, I cannot stay, but we'll laugh soon, one of these days. And though apart, you are not alone, because in your heart